Hello there, welcome to Creepy Encounters. In today's video, walls have ears? Creepy old man's version of hide and seek. Had to hide from a guy in a cornfield. Hi. This is my first post on Reddit ever. My BFF suggested me to post here to see if someone maybe can get this story sorted out. It was Labor Day 2018 and I was at home, talking on the phone with a friend. I was telling her about that time when a former classmate of mine stole my Game Boy 13 years ago. I don't actually remember how we ended up talking about that. I usually forget about it. I mean, I was hurt at that time, of course, but I stopped caring about it quickly. Still, the reason why I never denounced my classmate was because I had no real evidence, but I knew it was her. One day I was home playing with my Game Boy, then I invited her, and when she left my Game Boy was gone forever. So 6 days later, it was early morning, my mother opened the door and found a plastic bag on the landing. The plastic bag advertised a famous type of ham from Granada, Spain, and had a note on it saying 4J. Plus my surname, written in pen but in a very standard calligraphy, like the person who wrote didn't want their true calligraphy to be recognized. My mother of course was confused and creeped out by this and passed me the thing. I opened the bag and guessed what was inside. The freaking Game Boy from 13 years ago, of course. I know it was that one because it was pink and with the same scratch mine had. This means that the thief heard my conversation and snuck into the building at night until they reached my door. What the actual frick? It creeps me out every time I think about it. Now, this classmate lives in my same area, but how the frick did she hear me? I was in my house, the neighbor above me is a deaf widow, the neighbors below are an Albanian family who don't understand Italian talk so fast, like the way I was speaking that day on the phone, plus they don't get along a lot with people here. Besides, while talking on the phone, I randomly looked outside the window every now and then. And there was no one, international holiday and all, people were out, and honestly, it's hard for me to think that someone above or below or outside could actually hear what I was saying. I'm Italian, but I'm not shouting every hour of my life, especially if I'm talking about a potential thief. At the beginning I wanted to test if the Game Boy still worked, but it was empty and of course I had no game to insert in. To this day I don't know if it is still functioning. I thought this was over, but after some days my classmate, who I haven't heard from for years, sent me a message on WhatsApp, asking me how I was doing, etc. Really? I replied, pretending that nothing ever happened, and then she started talking about my Game Boy. Seriously, I told her what happened to me, playing stupid, and saying I wonder if I've got hidden microphones in my house, and she replied who knows he. She didn't even try to reassure me, and insisted on asking if the Game Boy was still functioning, like, really insisting. I told her that I don't have any game to test it with, and that I don't even care that much. The conversation ended, and she never texted again. I don't know why she insisted so much, but the more she insisted, the less I wanted to test it. Oh, I forgot to tell you that she evidently used a plastic bag with the Granada ham on it because she has always been jealous of a friend of mine I used to get along with, who moved to Granada some years ago. Evidently she wanted me to think it was her, and what's most hilarious about it is that I hadn't met my friend yet at the time the Game Boy was stolen. She got confused, poor thing. So, it's obvious that she's the one who stole it, but I still can't figure out how she heard me. That's what creeps me out. Does anyone have any ideas about that? Edit, it wasn't my friend on the phone. I forgot to mention that they don't know each other and that she lives far away from here. Nearly 10 years ago now, me and my friends used to go walking all over for something to do. This one day me and my friend were sitting on the seafront just talking whilst resting on the beach wall with our backs to the sea. I notice my friend keeps looking behind me when we're speaking with a puzzled look on their face. I turn around to see what is there and I see nothing. So we keep speaking and I see them staring over my shoulder again. When I turn again, I see nothing. So I give them a look and they nod behind me. I turn my head quickly just to see a tiny bit of someone's head. Directly behind us all along the seafront is big concrete blocks a few feet away from the top of the stairs. I'm guessing to help stop water from going directly onto the road when the sea is rising. My friend says to me quietly that there is someone hiding behind that block watching and listening to us. As they say this, an old man stands up from behind the block and stares at us. Instantly I feel freaked out by his presence and try to ignore that he's there to avoid encouraging him from talking to us. We begin speaking again and sit on the seawall, turning our backs to him slightly. I see my friend's faces change and hear shuffling. I turned to see him standing very close to us, so I swung back around to face him and free myself so I could get away as quickly as possible. His clothes are soaking wet, his hair is soaked and he is in a big coat. He holds up a keyring and dangles it in front of us as if trying to entice us. I say no thanks, bluntly, and tap my friend to move so we can leave. Do you want this keyring? "I made it myself," he says with a little creepy smile on his face, looking us right in the eye and bowing down slightly to look at us properly. I say no again. He turns to my friend who hasn't said anything, and asks again if they would like the keyring. They turn to look at me as I say no again. I lean back against the wall to try and get some space between me and the man as he is too close. He points at his coat and says he pressed a button to cross the road, but it ended up squirting him, hence why he's all wet. There are water fountains on the seafront but not next to any traffic lights. So I think he was trying to attempt conversation and getting nowhere. "How old are you?" "Beautiful ladies." The way he said beautiful ladies made my skin crawl. And this instantly made me realize that he definitely did not have innocent intentions. I ignore him and my friend decides to answer 15. She's 16. The fact she keeps answering him in a nice tone is winding me up as he's seen he can speak to her. So I pitch in with "We're going now," just as he asks if we would like to go for a drink with him. I say no, yet again. And my friend says that we are too young. He replies again with a creepy smile, "You can pass for 18," whilst slowly looking us both up and down. Before my friend can answer, I push them and say we are leaving, we have to meet my brother. As we go to walk away, the old man points across the road at the store that my brother works at and goes, "Are you meeting him from work?" This made me feel uncomfortable, like did he know my brother works there and had seen me meet him previously, or was he just guessing? I had seen my brother like once or twice at work, so it is unlikely he'd seen me. I say no again and walk quicker. The guy quickly walks after us and picks up his pace as we do. We both look at each other and run full speed into the town and dive into the closest store that wasn't where my brother worked. When we got there, the old man was not in sight anymore. Thankfully we lost him. I think he was a pervy old man trying to take advantage of two teenagers. This happened when my friend and I were about 14. In the summertime we were wanting to go for a swim at a nearby lake. We lived in a very small town since the bus would go maybe once an hour, so we decided to hitchhike as it was about 10 kilometers away. I fully acknowledge how stupid that was. Anyways, this guy pulled over and we asked if he could take us to the lake and both hopped in the back. Then about halfway to the lake, the road goes through a forest the whole time. He pulled over on the side saying he needed to grab something from the back of the car. We immediately got alarmed, and when he opened the back door, he straight away latched onto my friend and tried to grab her, so I opened my passenger door and jumped out. Then she managed to as well, and he was still holding on her leg but then let go and she started hitting his head. We both ran down the nearest side road hoping there would be some people. But the road was quite long and went through a cornfield. Trying not to SHT ourselves, we just jumped in, ducked down and watched the road. He came down looking for us, then eventually drove off. The end. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe for more real-life creepy encounters around the world. See you in the next video. Bye.